In Sao Paulo, at least 50,000 people are homeless, and the conservative mayor's office is carrying out repressive policies against the sector of the population. In response, homeless people and human rights organizations protested in front of the city hall. Our correspondent Ignacio Lemos is there with the details.
Winter is coming, and Sao Paulo's mayor's office, led by conservative Ricardo Nunes, is not providing solutions to the city's housing crisis. Quite the contrary.
They are taking away the floats. They are taking away the tents of the homeless people, taking away their documents, clothes, medicines. There is an extreme violence and elimination process. On top of that, the governor of the state of Sao Paulo wanted to take the population to the countryside to work on fields, which will be slave labor.
With record cash on hand, the mayor's office of a capital with the country's largest gross domestic product cut back on long-standing initiatives to protect the vulnerable population on the streets.
What Bolsonaro and his supporters left behind were people on the streets, going hungry, freezing to death, people with no rights, education, culture, or housing. So we are in a very vulnerable situation, and the City Hall is not solving it. I filed a protocol with the Public Prosecutor's Office about the City Hall closing a tent downtown during the low-temperature operation.
Official numbers from Sao Paulo warn about a crisis with 50,000 people living on the streets, but human rights organizations claim that real numbers might be even more shocking.
Mayor Ricardo Nunes is destroying the social assistance service and has put in place a policy of removing the tents from the homeless population, and that will generate a gigantic level of barbarism. We know that the cold period will start now in the city. The tents help people not to die frozen on the streets, and what can happen is a tragedy much worse than in the last few years with the cold wave that we will have in the middle of the year.
After marching from the city hall to the municipal chamber, hundreds of homeless people, communities and human rights organizations were left waiting for urgent solutions for the vulnerable population on the streets of Sao Paulo.
Ignacio Lemos y Julia Nasif para teleSUR.